Hey there, true crime fanatics, and welcome to Closer Look. Are you ready to delve into the darkest corners of history? Buckle up, because today we're diving headfirst into a chilling countdown of the top 10 unsolved crime cases that'll have you sleeping with the lights on. From mysterious disappearances to baffling murders, these cases have haunted investigators, armchair detectives, and well, me, for years. We're talking cryptic clues, dead ends, and theories so wild you'll be questioning everything you thought you knew. So grab your magnifying glass, put on your detective hats, and get ready to explore the most perplexing mysteries that continue to baffle the world. Let's crack into it. The Zodiac Killer, a name that echoes through the halls of true crime history. This is where our journey into the unknown truly begins. Picture this: 1960s California. The sun's shining, the vibes are groovy, but a shadow lurks. A killer, shrouded in mystery, is on the loose, targeting seemingly random victims. The Zodiac toyed with authorities, sending cryptic messages, ciphers, and taunting letters to newspapers. Some of these ciphers were solved, revealing, well, not much about his identity, but definitely a whole lot about his, personality. The unsolved ciphers are like a locked door to his mind, and behind that door, well, that's where the real chills lie. The Zodiac Killer vanished as quickly as he appeared, leaving behind a trail of fear, unanswered questions, and a legacy that continues to fascinate and terrify to this day. He claimed to have killed 37 people, only 7 were confirmed. The question isn't just who was the Zodiac Killer, but how many more victims are out there, hidden by time and the killer's chilling silence. Next up, we're stepping into the dark heart of Hollywood, a place where dreams are made and, in this case, shattered. The year is 1947, and the victim is Elizabeth Short, an aspiring actress with big dreams, and, unfortunately, an even bigger target on her back. Her story, my friends, is not a glamorous one. It's the tale of the Black Dahlia, a nickname given to Elizabeth after her horrific murder. Her body was found in a vacant lot, brutally mutilated and posed in a way that still sends chills down my spine just thinking about it. The press had a field day, of course, sensationalizing the story and turning Elizabeth into a tragic figure of Hollywood's dark side. Despite numerous suspects and countless theories, the Black Dahlia case remains unsolved. Was it a scorned lover, a jealous rival, a random act of violence? The truth, like Elizabeth, remains lost in the shadows of Hollywood's golden age. This case is as much about who Elizabeth Short was as it is about who killed her. Let's travel back in time, shall we? To 1888 London, a city shrouded in fog and fear. This is where we encounter one of history's most infamous figures, Jack the Ripper. He terrorized the Whitechapel district, targeting women and leaving a trail of gruesome unsolved murders. What makes Jack the Ripper so fascinating and terrifying is that we still don't know who he was. He vanished into the fog as mysteriously as he appeared. Theories are endless, but the truth remains hidden in history. Jack the Ripper's reign was short-lived, but his impact on true crime is undeniable. Hold on to your hearts, folks, because this next case is a real tearjerker. In 2007, while on a family vacation in Portugal, little Madeleine McCann, just 3 years old, vanished from her bed. It's every parent's worst nightmare, a story that gripped the world and sparked one of the most extensive missing person investigations in history. Imagine the scene: a quiet resort town, a family on holiday, and then nothing. Madeleine was gone, vanished without a trace. The initial investigation was, to put it mildly, a mess. Finger-pointing, conflicting accounts, and a whole lot of unanswered questions plagued the case from the get-go. Years later, the mystery of Madeleine McCann remains unsolved. Theories abound: a botched kidnapping, a tragic accident, even more sinister possibilities that I won't even get into here. Let's journey to 1922 Germany, to a secluded farmhouse called Hinterkaifeck. This isn't just any farmhouse, though. A place frozen by a horrifying crime that remains unsolved to this day. Imagine a family, living a simple life, brutally murdered in their own home. No forced entry, no witnesses, just chilling silence. Days before, strange occurrences, footsteps in the attic, a missing house key, an eerie feeling that something wasn't right. The murders were brutal, carried out with a pickaxe. But who would do such a thing? A disgruntled employee, a jealous neighbor, or something far more sinister? The Hinterkaifeck murders have all the hallmarks of a classic whodunit. This next case, well, it's one that always gets to me. In 1957, in the quiet neighborhood of Fox Chase, Philadelphia, a discovery was made that would haunt the city for decades. A small cardboard box, discarded like trash, contained something far more sinister: the body of a young boy, his identity a mystery. He became known as the boy in the box, a nameless child, his story tragically cut short. Despite countless efforts, the boy's identity remains a mystery. Who was he? Where did he come from? And who could commit such a heinous act against an innocent child? Theories range from a family tragedy kept secret to a darker possibility that the boy was a victim of a serial killer preying on the vulnerable. The case remains open, a stark reminder that behind the facade of everyday life, darkness can lurk, and some victims, even in death, never find their voice. Chapter 7, Christmas Eve 1945. A time for family, for warmth, for joy. But for the Sauter family of Fayetteville, West Virginia, this Christmas Eve would become a night etched in tragedy, a horrifying mystery that continues to baffle and intrigue. Imagine this: a fire engulfs your home, your family trapped inside. You manage to escape, but 5 of your children are missing, vanished without a trace. The fire, ruled accidental, seemed like the tragic end to a horrific event. But as the ashes settled, questions arose. Why were 5 of the Sauter children missing? Why weren't their remains found in the rubble? Was it possible they had survived the fire only to disappear into the night? Fasten your seatbelts, folks, because we're about to dive into a mystery that reads like a spy thriller. In 1948, on a beach in Adelaide, Australia, a man's body was found, and thus began one of the most baffling unsolved cases in Australian history. There was no identification, no obvious cause of death, just a man lying on the beach as if he'd simply stepped out of a mystery novel. Hidden in a secret pocket of his clothing, investigators found a tiny scrap of paper with the words "Tamam Shud" printed on it. Turns out this phrase, meaning it is finished in Persian, was torn from a rare copy of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. Despite a nationwide search, the man's identity and the story behind the Tamam Shud note remain a mystery. Let the good times roll? Not so fast. We're heading to New Orleans, a city known for its music, its culture, and, in 1918, a terrifying mystery that left its mark on the city's soul: the Axeman. This wasn't just any killer. This guy had a taste for jazz, a penchant for the dramatic, and a chilling calling card: an axe. The Axeman, as he was dubbed by the terrified public, terrorized New Orleans, breaking into homes and attacking his victims, often while they slept. But here's the twist: he seemed to have a preference for Italian-American residents, and even weirder, he claimed to have a fondness for jazz music. In a chilling letter to the newspapers, the Axeman promised to spare any home where a jazz band was playing on a specific night. Despite numerous suspects and countless theories, the Axeman's identity remains a mystery. Our final stop takes us to the chilly landscape of Norway, 1970. Picture this: a charred body, discovered in a remote area known as Isdalen Valley. But this was no ordinary death. This, my friends, was the case of the Isdal woman, a mystery shrouded in intrigue, false identities, and enough unanswered questions to make your head spin. The woman, found with her belongings strangely removed and labels cut out, had no identification. But as investigators dug deeper, they uncovered a trail of wigs, fake passports, and a network of aliases. Well, there you have it, folks. 10 unsolved cases that prove truth is often stranger than fiction. From cryptic codes to vanishing children, these mysteries continue to fascinate and frighten, reminding us that some questions may never have answers. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more intriguing content. We're always on the hunt for the next big mystery, so stay tuned. Let us know in the comments which unsolved crime case you find the most fascinating. And remember, the next time you're home alone, listening to the sounds of the night, think of these cases and sleep tight. You never know what lurks in the shadows, or maybe you do, and that's even scarier.